now? Did I tell you not to run me bad side? Didn't I?
So if anybody thought that I was overstating the division here in Ireland, this is the evidence of it. A front line of squad here and broken glass everywhere. Yeah, this could be a trap. Greetings from sunny Dublin in Ireland. I want to introduce you to Colin, who is the Bogtrotter Ireland YouTube channel, the face, the man behind it. Now, I'll explain a little bit first about why I'm here, and then I'll explain why I'm here with Colin. So, about 6 months ago, some of you may know, I put a video up from Dublin where I did a bit of a market hunt, got loads of vital supplies together, and gave them to a homeless person who was an asylum seeker. Now, I simply gave the necessities to that asylum seeker, that migrant, because he was the most likeable character I met that day. And surprising to me, when I uploaded the video, there were a lot of negative comments saying that perhaps I should have given that stuff to an Irish homeless person. Well, the real answer for that is I didn't really come across as anybody that seemed as genuine as the chap that I gave it to that day. But amongst all the comments that came, one that stuck out was from Colin here. And he said that although he enjoyed my videos, that he thought that I got it wrong in that video because the situation here is really complex. There are a lot of problems, a lot of division when it comes to the migrant issue in Ireland. So he invited me back, and I'm here in Dublin today. It's supposed to be a really sunny July day, but it keeps coming and going. Thanks for inviting me back, mate.
No problem. And just with regard to the weather, we are renowned for having 4 seasons in a day.
Yeah.
You never know what the weather's going to be like, but you know that because you've been here before, right?
I'm ready for it, yeah. But let's talk in more seriousness about the division that you've spoken to me about in this country. Tell us a little bit more about the situation here in Ireland in 2024.
Right. So basically the figures will show that between 85 and 97% of asylum seekers are illegal immigrants. They're destroying their passports on arrival, or they're getting coaches generally from Northern Ireland down here. They sign in the International Protection Accommodation Services, get fingerprinted. Eventually they will end up with housing. They start off with in tents. One of my issues is that they've stopped giving the Irish tents. The Irish are on the streets now, are living in sleeping bags. But these guys are coming in, and they're all guys. They're all guys, all the same age, breeding age you could call them, military-style men. It seems very strange, and it brings up all sorts of conspiracy theories within the Irish community. The fact that what's causing the aggravation here, in its simplest form, we have 14,000 Irish homeless, 4,000 of which are children, and then untold amounts of hidden homeless, which is people who could be sleeping on someone's sofa, etc., etc. So we have a massive homelessness problem. People living on the streets, people dying on the streets who are living in the tents, who were living in the tents till they stopped giving the Irish the tents. Although we have greatest compassion and empathy for anyone fleeing persecution in war-torn areas, we feel for that. We're okay with that. But it's because these people are coming in illegally. They're fooling the system where we have so many homeless here that aren't getting seen to. Some people could be 27 years on the housing list trying to get a flat, but these people are just walking in. We know they're illegal. We know they could be saying they're from any country, saying any age, which they do. They'd say they're very young because they get better benefits, less chances of them being deported. So there's instances of guys in their 40s pretending to be 17. Is guys coming in and they're not going to IPAS, they're not getting fingerprinted, they're just dispersing into the community. We don't know their criminal histories, where they're from, but they have snuck in, working on the black market. We don't have the figures for them because we don't know how many are doing it. But this is what's causing the division here. It's the injustice. We the Irish are now being basically treated as second-class citizens. We are not getting housed. We're not getting any of the luxuries that these people who aren't from war-torn countries are coming from, and that's causing great aggravation within all the communities.
So we're going to hit the streets in Dublin today. You're going to introduce me to some of the areas you grew up in.
Certainly will.
And We're going to meet some of the Irish people who've got an issue with the way that Dublin has gone in 2024. We'll try and meet some of the people with that wonderful Irish spirit and hospitality as well. And I'm going to try and dig deeper into what the situation is here in Dublin. Because the last time I came, I noticed there was an edge, there was a bit of a rough and unsettled vibe. So now I've got a local with me who himself is very concerned about the state of things. Let's see what life is like, especially regarding this division within the community, within the society here in Dublin. Let's go. Are you, like me, a complete unknowing nitwit when it comes to car mechanics? I'm sure that many people who are watching this have got absolutely no idea what's going on under their bonnet. This often leads to getting ripped off by dodgy mechanics, or even getting ripped off when you're buying a used car. Luckily for me, I used this Carly OBD reader when I recently bought this car. Let me show you how it works and what the benefits are. Carly dives deeper than standard OBD readers. It offers dealership and manufacturer level diagnostics right in your hands. You very simply plug it into a car's OBD port and it tells you the vehicle's health through connection to an app on your dog and bone. The technology communicates with all the car's ECUs, not just the primary one, for a comprehensive understanding. Cheap generic scanners only communicate to one ECU, not giving you access to soft or pending faults. This is top of the range, simple to use tech. Carly is saving regular motorists like you and me thousands on car repairs. You can now walk into the mechanic confident you know what's going on with your car. No BS from the mechanic. When you're test driving potential new car purchases, you can check the vehicle history, the mileage and any potential problems. Basically, you can save getting ripped off. When I walked away from the dealer with these keys in hand, I did so safe in the knowledge that I'd walked away with a sound motor. And you can too if you use Carly. Get 15% off Carly with code Wendell when you click the link in the video description and pin comment. So the last time I was here in Dublin, 6 months ago, I was personally shocked at how edgy and dangerous even the centre where the tourists all visit is. And when I was talking to Colin, he said he'd take me down a couple of laneways, the notorious laneways of Dublin, because apparently these are dangerous places. So what was my observation like? Is central Dublin as dangerous as it felt to me last time?
It's worse. It's worse. The crime stats, I can't be quoted on this, but as far as I remember, the crime rate has gone up 25% since the last quarter of last year. It's gone up 25%. So people will, of course, straight away blame asylum seekers. Because they are the rise. It's not an Irish birthright. I'm not saying who it is at this juncture, but
some people are jumping to that
some
conclusion.
People are saying that it's because of these new people coming in. And in my experience, the type of crime has changed. There was always violence here. We've no shortage of that, and we had our own troubles. And it is direct. The streets can be rough, but that type of roughness has changed. It's a lot more menacing. People in Ireland don't feel as safe anymore. I wouldn't come down here as a tourist. There was a Canadian murdered here not this lane. Not this lane. My last one is Canadian tourist. Something dodgy going on there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Seems so.
Smoking a bit.
There's also a lane I've heard of called Harbour Court.
That's what I'm bringing.
Yeah, so we're going to walk over to Harbour Court now, which apparently is that dangerous that at one point in the last month or so, the government here in Dublin, they were talking about actually closing the lane, but you're saying that that's not happened yet.
It hasn't been closed. It's been dangerous since I was a kid. Now, can we get up here?
Not closed yet.
So it was dangerous since I was a kid. Some people in your comments will go, being there, it wasn't dangerous at all. As a kid, you wouldn't go here. It was known when we had the situation in November. I think it was November when there was riots in the streets and the vehicles were set on fire here. It was said that the gangs congregated in this area to meet up. But you'll feel the atmosphere from this lane. You'll feel it without saying. So
let's check it out.
I would say in its history, I would imagine all manner of dodginess has happened down here.
Well, you can see here, folks, this is O'Connell Street. This is the very tourist centre, really, along with Temple Bar of Dublin. And the laneways just a block away are really dangerous areas.
They used to call it Hatchet Alley.
Hatchet Alley.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that's so handy for someone who might be up to no good is the corner that we just went through. There's 3 exits.
Yeah.
So you could be stood right at that corner, in between the three exits, and if someone comes down, you just run out another one. So unless you've got guards coming down the 3 lanes, there's nothing you can do.
And that could be Garda or illegal acquaintances, couldn't it? Could be anything, yeah. Anybody that's after you.
But you can see them from so far away.
Yeah.
That you can just do a runner.
Do you work in there, do you, mate? In that shop there?
Where?
You just came out that door there. We're just making a video about the lane because they were talking about closing it because it's quite a dangerous place. Have you heard of anything about that? Or
Yeah, they are going to close it.
do you know when they're going to close it?
I'm not too sure.
Not
no.
sure.
It
Yeah.
takes them a long time to get things done around here.
Is it a pretty notorious place for illegal activities? Yeah.
It is a very, very dangerous area. There's a lot of addicts hanging around the lanes and addicts as well. And they get very dangerous and very, when they see people coming through, obviously, with stuff that they want, unfortunately.
They're trying their best to
like
take
to
it.
have it, and normally they do get it under circumstances, which could be blades, bottles, whatever. Unfortunately, I am homeless 20 years and I am not in that game. I'd rather sit down with a cup, as I call. You do the homeless blog, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have your number and all.
My phone is gone. My phone was robbed. So.
Guess what I have for you?
You got some phones on you to hand out to people?
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
So this is something I was going to jump into. Colin does carry phones, don't you? To hand out to homeless people, like in this lady's situation. Nikita, is it? Yeah, and it just helps you stay connected with services and everything. Yeah.
It's not for the services.
Okay.
That's being honest. It's for my kids.
Your family.
3 kids.
Yeah.
20, 21, 18 and 8. Since I've met Colin. That was about 2.5 months ago. Something like that. My phone was robbed with all my belongings from Dunn Stores. Thank you so much.
Colin, that's awesome, man.
And it's charged.
Thanks.
Pre-charged as well.
Thanks, Colin. I will not forget this.
Do forget it. I'm not looking for it. It's charged already.
So do you regularly bring supplies to people like Nikita that you meet?
All the time.
So you bump into her, regularly. You realise that she needs certain things.
I know her from a few. I talk to these guys all the time. I don't mean to call you these guys,
Okay.
but I speak to homeless people, guys on the street, I should say, all the time. I never offer a phone, right? But I ask, can I take, now my secret's going to be out, but I never offer, say I have a phone for you. I say, can I take your number? And that's how I know.
So Colin, I've just seen in the alleyway there that you were very empathetic with Nikita's plight, being homeless and having troubles of her own. What motivates you to have this empathy towards the people in the community that are struggling with homelessness and addiction?
Well, so I'm a qualified addiction counsellor. I'm a pre-qualified psychotherapist. I've worked with the homeless for many years. Addiction I've worked with for many years. I think most people who work in the addiction field, who aren't just doing it for money, because it'd be a long time getting money in as a counsellor, I think most will have had some connection with addiction. So personally speaking, and I think my viewers know this, that I've had issues with. Do you want to go here? It might be a bit.
Yeah, let's go through it.
I've had issues with addiction. I'm an alcoholic, but the thing is I don't drink.
Yeah.
But I know I'm an alcoholic. I never touch a drop because I don't like the person that makes me. Just because someone is an addict doesn't mean that their issues are all about addictions. It means they have an addiction issue and everything that everyone normal has. They have all the same problems. It's not just about addiction.
Yeah.
It's everything that led them into that it could be unresolved trauma from their childhood comes into it a lot. In terms of some of the substance abuse people I talk with, it becomes quite apparent after talking to them on a one-to-one. Abuse in their youth comes up, I'd say, nearly all the time.
You put it far more eloquent than me because you're a professional, but I always say that some of the people I've met, they didn't stand a chance from the start. They were born into abuse, and so that later became self-abuse and negative habits. That's the way I see it from the people I've met. Yeah.
If you plant 2 seeds and you put them in the ground, one of them you give loads of water, a little bit of fertiliser, compost, and make sure there's plenty of sun, and the other one you don't treat so well, one of them is going to fail. If you put the 2 seeds there and give them the exact same treatments, water, etc., they'll grow the same. It is in the helping people, and it can be depressing as hell, like, it really can be depressing, but it's in the helping that you're helping yourself.
Your name is Lisa?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lisa McEnroe, yeah.
Yeah, and are you born and bred in Dublin?
I am.
Yeah, and how's life in Dublin these days?
Shit.
Why do you say that?
The drug use, it's the gangs, the government. It's an awful lot, like it's the drugs and the government made me.
Until 6 months ago, I hadn't been back for about 10 years, and when I came back, I was shocked to how much edgier it felt, and that there was a friction in the society. Do you think that's a fair estimation?
Come here, as soon as you get off a boat or a plane, you can feel it straight away. If the government could do something, could do more for the homeless, I'd be grateful. And that's being honest. Because I see good people out in the streets that don't deserve to be out in the streets.
That's just gonna be fucking bad side, didn't I not? Didn't I not? Did I tell you not to be bad side? Didn't I? I'd fucking kill you outside that and I walk through the street.
Do you want to have a wander around the corner? So, apart from that, how is Dublin these days in 2024? Colin tells me there's quite a lot of friction.
There is a lot of friction. There's a lot of tension at the moment regarding immigrants coming into. Dublin's a very small city. Ireland in itself is a very small country. I mean, we're housing only 6 million people, like, as it is. So, I mean, most of them are not even Irish. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of Irish that immigrated. And, like, I mean, at the end of the day, Dublin as a city at the moment, it's changed.
Yeah. So I last visited 6 months ago. Sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
And I hadn't been before then for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And I was shocked at how edgy it felt. Do you think that's a fair assumption from a visitor?
Fair. Yeah, of course, yeah. That's a very fair assumption. Yeah, of course you'd be edgy. Yeah, you notice things going on around. You feel the aura of people, and there is bad energy. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a very hostile city. Very hostile. It's got more hostile now with the epidemic and the immigration epidemic problem as well. That's the situations that's been happening. We're not used to as a people.
Yeah.
Because our kindness has been taken as a weakness, and that's Irish nature, is to be kind to people, and that's what we're known for.
Documentary.
Yeah, man.
Yo.
How's Dublin in 2024?
Dublin is beautiful.
I'm not hearing that from everyone. There's good and bad things.
Dublin is good, man. Come to Dublin, Habibi.
Yeah. See, there you go. There's a great example. Right? He's having a great time. Great time beside he's having over here. Yeah, I'm not a racist person. It's not colour of the skin or anything else, or is attitude or anything else like that. But I'll tell you this: they come over with that attitude. Yeah, everything's great. Yeah, they're getting fucking money. They're getting free money. Sorry, of course, but they're getting free money. They're getting free house. They're getting house like that. Like Sims come in, they're getting house. They're getting prioritised over Irish people. And there's people living in tents on the streets that are Irish and that need housed, and they're in hostels as well, more so than in tents. So what you need to do is get Irish people out of hostels and then put the foreign people in. You need to house the Irish people first. Seen a lot in the inner city, how it changed over the years, do you know what I mean? And like, yeah, you're even over the last, let's put it in the last 5 years, shit's got hot. Shit's got real hot. Ireland was sold. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was sold to the banks. It was sold to big shareholders. It was sold to this is back in 2008. Do you know what I mean? When the boom, the crash happened.
Do you think this is when you had a lot of Amazon and Facebook came with their European headquarters to Ireland, lower taxes than in the UK? I can only speak of, that's where I'm from.
Well, it's literally the taxes are non-existent over here for them sort of companies.
Do you think that those companies moving to Ireland, did that bring jobs for Dubliners?
Not jobs, but it's only to a certain type of person. You have to be the coding, you have to be into technology.
Yeah, like educated, computer literate individuals.
Most certainly.
But maybe not for people where industries fell away and so on. The vibe that I'm getting from most people I speak to, it isn't migration per se. It's just uncontrolled migration of people.
Yes,
Ireland needs skilled workers from overseas.
Most certainly, that's true. Yeah, but at the same time, you have to understand that. You see, in other places, it's happened in France. It's happened all over in other places in Europe, where migrants are coming from war-torn countries, and they're coming over and they're absolutely causing outrage. They're just going to random attacks, organised attacks as well. Do you know what I mean? But the terror attacks then happen. Look how many we've had in Europe. Ireland hasn't been hit like that yet. Do you know what I mean? But I just have a feeling that something's going to give, because the virus give the way things are going right now, someone's going to get hurt very badly. And you've seen the way that they're popping up the tents all over Dublin in certain places. Do you know what I mean? Look, it's not going to be long before someone comes out along and starts burning the tents. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. And God forbid somebody's in one of them. Do you know what I mean? Something's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Something bad is going to happen. And then that's when the problems are going to start. That's when you're going to get like foreign gangs against Irish gangs and this sort of clash. Do you know what I mean? Before you know it.
Well, hopefully we don't get to that.
Hopefully we don't get to that. But I mean, look, if the government don't step in and do something, you'll have you're just gonna have gangs going around. At the end of the day, it's not all hate there for them. I mean, there is legitimate cases. There is Palestinian people that are coming over that are fleeing war-torn countries. They've been massacred over there. I mean, that in itself is a reason to take them in. And we're one of the first countries to have to actually stand up and worldwide stand up with the politicians to condemn. That's the word I'm looking for. To condemn what's going on over in Israel. We're the first country to stand up and condemn worldwide, publicly, that what they're doing is wrong. Like, do you know what I mean?
Colin did ironically point out to me that the brand of the tents that are being given out to the illegal migrants are trespass. He thinks that maybe there could be a more suitable brand name for the tents that are given out, because that might infuriate people who are slightly irked by the situation. So I'm not sure if it is true that the tents are being taken away from the Irish homeless, but at the same time being given out to people that arrive illegally, to migrants. But I can say that on that side of the river, I have seen a lot of tent encampments with pretty fresh looking tents, but on this side of the river, there are people sleeping homeless, some with sleeping bags, and some without even that, but no tents. So I'm not sure, as I say, how much truth there is in those reports of the disparity between Irish homeless and migrant homeless and a tent situation. But if that is the case, then obviously that's disturbing. But if you know any more about it, folks, please put in the comments below whether there's any truth to these stories. So you take horses around and you give people shaves?
I just do the shaves, the lads do the horse and carriages.
What happens when the horse pulls and you mess up his moustache?
That hasn't happened yet, but he's looking to be the first.
Come to Dublin outside the Guinness Storehouse, have a horse ride, get a shave.
Yeah, name's
Job done.
She's my friend's best. She's the best horse I've ever met.
This is Bailey. How old's Bailey?
She's 11 years old.
Hello, sweetheart. She's beautiful.
She's a blessing to own.
Oh, she's beautiful.
She's
yeah.
literally lovely. She is.
So have you been like taking horses around? Is this the Liberties?
This is the heart of the Liberties.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
This is the heart of the Liberties. Like, you can't get any more Dublin down here because you're in Dublin, eh? The Liberties meaning, the old meaning of it is there was the poor part back in the days. It was the poor part. But as you can see now, all it is buildings booming. It's booming now, the city is.
Very different.
Exactly. No recession, no more.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what we do. We just take people on tours out to sea, obviously. Around, we can take like a taxi service on the horses. But it's not, this is not the living we live. This is the lifestyle we live.
Yeah.
Like the lifestyle we live is with the horses. We're looking after the horses every day, but it's a pleasure to get them out when we can on the weekends, just to get them out, especially on a carriage. And if you're making a few quid, that's all the better. Because to get it helps along the way. Because everything a horse is built, it's all like it's hard work put into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
It is, because we have a lot. It's literally it's a full-time job every day. Like there's no days off.
Yeah.
Christmas morning, you're
The
on.
horse needs looking after every day, all day.
Like you need to look after the horse more than yourself sometimes.
Are we going to take it for a spin?
Of course you can.
Absolutely. You serve Guinness as well on it?
No, because I had customers on a few minutes ago.
Okay.
And I stopped at the Liberty Bell for them, so they got their whatever they got.
Maybe
there.
we'll stop for a pint for me as well.
Obviously, let's go. Let's go.
do it.
I'll ask the owner if he want to jump up. He's a 12-year-old. He probably doesn't want to get up. But he probably will want it. Where's Todd? Ask him if you want to come with me. You want to come with me? It's only on a little spin, son. I'll show the lads around. Come on, you can drive if you want. And we'll talk to the lads. Come on, they're not butchered anywhere. Come on, get up. Don't drive her fast. His father owns all the horses.
So this horse is as old as you, pretty much, yeah?
Exactly the same age nearly, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's 12 years of age.
How long have you been
Slow down, son.
doing the horses?
Since I'm like 5.
Since you were 5?
Yeah.
It's amazing, mate. You're skilled.
Oh yeah, he's driving them since he's 5, but he's been in them since he's born.
Yeah.
Been in them since he's born.
Does he ride them too fast? I'm getting the impression you're telling him to slow
he's
down.
a butcher. That's what I call him, a butcher. When he goes too fast, they're a butcher. Now right now where we are, we should have went left some, but we go that way anyway. All we are now, this is all the Liberties, right, as you're saying about the heart of Dublin. All these buildings, these are for the these are the corporation owned houses. These are for the, like, years ago, as I was saying to you, the Liberties, the old part for the poor part. This is literally it. This is for like residential areas, so you go renting and it's cheap rent and stuff like that. Instead of paying for your like a house 2 blocks down, 2,000 to 3,000 every month, you're going to be paying rent.
Yeah.
That's just the way things are around here, because they're so close to the city.
Dublin, really expensive place to live these days.
Years ago, actually, the Guinness family were very good to the workers. Slow down, son. There's a woman on the road. Give me the rent. Can't drive his own horse. I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, madam. Whenever you're ready, love. You take your time, love. Do you want me to go? Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
You have to go slow on the horse. Son.
You have to go fast.
It's not a Formula 1 car, mate.
Walk on, my girl. Walk on easy. That's the way you
What
talk
are we
to
doing?
her.
An hour?
What? Yeah, what are we doing in an hour? Yeah, mad thing, son. But yeah, as I was saying, these are for the less privileged people. But and these houses, these were all built years ago, over 200, 300 years ago, for the workers in the Guinness Hub store. Like literally, so they'd be close to the storehouse.
Who would live in these houses now?
Now, private owners and stuff like that. These are private owners and they'd be renting them out. But if you did own one of them, trust me, you're bleeding well off. You have a few quid, you'll have to have a few quid. This used to be a local bar for our locals around here, always. Every night darts and all, they used to have a darts team. Ever since COVID happened, never reopened.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen to it now, to be honest. There was a load of illegal people trying to stay in it. But
Like
set it on
squatters,
fire. Yeah, exactly. He set it on fire and all. But it wasn't nice. And years ago, when the Guinness workers of a Sunday, here's what used to happen when they were based up in Guinness's working there, as I was telling you, most of the cottages around here are for the Guinness workers.
Yeah.
1 second, boss. See the Holy Mary statue down there? Get up out of that, boss. Mark, 1 minute, brother. See that statue? They used to all gather around there, families from all around Ireland and England as well. If you were from England, that's where they used to come and pray if you were Catholic.
In a regular day, when you got the horse, how many rides would you do around the Liberties?
To be honest, not that many in the summer because there's so many carriages up there. But some days you get none. You wouldn't get any, like, do you understand? And then some days you get like probably 3 or 4 or 5.
Is this all you do? Is this your main job, or do you do like other things as well? Or
yeah, I fit windows and doors for a living.
So could you not rely on this full time?
You could if you really wanted to, but
you'd have to hustle big style.
Exactly. You'd have to be buying and selling horses all the time and stuff like that. You can't depend on a carriage for your living. Go on there, girl.
Get on.
That's my woman.
You're doing a grand job there, mate.
Oh yeah. About time. About time.
This is the boss.
She is. She's the best mare I ever drove in my life.
Really?
She really is. She has the most manners ever. The old Dublin Wall, years ago when the Vikings took over, there was a wall around the whole lot of the Liberties. And if you weren't in at a certain hour at night time, you were left locked out.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want any intruders or invaders getting in. Easy, my little woman. As I say, she walks you out for me. She does it all herself.
She's finding it easy as well.
Ah, this carriage with the bearings in the wheels. Once the carriage is rolling, it's harder to stop.
How old were you when you had your first Guinness?
I want to say that.
So, Paddy, if people want to come and have a horse ride with you, where do they come to the corner of a Guinness store here?
Come to here.
You normally here?
Take me. I'm gonna put me WhatsApp, my YouTube channel on the corner of your little page if you want.
Yeah.
And you can take me details from there. Or as you said, you're at the Guinness Hub store. There's carriages here daily. Literally, it's like a living for some people, as you were speaking about. It's a daily routine for obvious reasons for people with horses. But I'm not going to be here every day of the week, so you won't find me here in the corner every day, but you will find some people. Plus, there's another little rank that you have over at Stevens Green Park. If you ever wanted a horse and carriage right there, you can go over there too. They can take you around on nice little scenic routes.
James Keogh Haircuts, I haven't got the page.
James Keogh Haircuts.
James Keogh, Keogh. Spell James.
Like Andy Keogh, the football player who used to play for Wolves. There you go. And you're here giving the horse drivers a good barnet cut, yeah? Nice fade. You don't mind me filming that, do you?
That's a serious fade.
You've been in the sun.
Ah,
You've been in the sun.
Yeah, Guinness's son.
Yeah. You're looking sharp, mate. So if anybody, will you give anyone a haircut here?
Anyone, and if you want to fly me to America, I'll take that too.
Sweet. Service update. The weather has shit the tin here in Dublin. So Colin's gone back to sort himself out at his house, and I'm on my own. I'm lost in Dublin for a couple of hours. But fear not, there's somebody else that I can knock around with for a bit. Danny Honest Places, my mate that does the pub reviews of the dodgy pubs, he's in town and he wants old Wendell to show him a couple of great pubs, not the ones in Temple Bar, on the tourist trail there. So I brought him first of all to the Palace Bar. Danny,
hey mate.
How's things, mate?
Not too bad.
You enjoying Dublin?
Yeah, go get some decent Guinnesses in.
We'll definitely get some of those.
Dodgy pubs.
Keep ourselves away from Temple Bar, mate. Come to places like the Palace Bar and Bowes here in the town centre.
Why?
It's a bit moist, so we best skip in and get a pint.
Let's go for it, mate.
Look at that, mate.
Yeah, there you go. Some people say, oh, it needs to be right on the heart, but I think it's got too much of a head on the heart. I think it needs to be like
my opinion here in Dublin, the more cream the better.
Reckon?
Yeah. She's a creamer, mate.
Your tongue was brown up there, honestly.
It's got a nice sweetness to it.
You see, honestly, compared to like back in England, or Wales or Scotland, it is like a different drink.
We've had a pint in the Palace, which is 100 metres that way. It was a good pint, but as we drank a bit more, it started to get a bit thin, not as creamy as us, you know.
Probably are better in Manchester.
Yeah, really?
Say.
You've had a creamier pint in Manchester?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well I'm telling you, mate, the Bowes here, with a big clock on, is pretty much the best Guinness in the central city.
Well, looks like
there are places just out that do probably an even better pint than this. This is one of the best pints of Guinness you'll have anywhere in the world.
So rate it out of 10 before you go in, and then rate it out of 10 when you have it.
I'm expecting 8.5, 9 out of 10.
8.5, 9
yeah.
out of 10?
I'll be disappointed if it's not an 8.5. It is
well
a great pub.
If it's anything less than 8.5, you're paying for it then.
I can already tell, mate, it's going to be way better than the Palace.
There we go. Called it 8.5, 9 out of 10.
How old's the pub, love?
How old is it?
Yeah.
1850.
1850.
Yeah.
So is the cellar, the cold room, is it directly below the bar here?
It's not directly, but it's not too far from it.
Yeah, because I would imagine, because the best pints you get.
Flow, yeah. But yeah, it's close to it, not direct. Yeah. Some people would have it directly underneath, or even.
Yeah.
Do you know? But yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's going to be best when you had, trust me.
So in my experience, I've been here before.
Yeah. You've been in here?
This is the best pint of Guinness I've ever had.
Brilliant.
We are going to Gravediggers later as well,
It doesn't
which
matter.
has got a good.
I know that pub.
You know it, yeah.
I know it.
You think it's better here or Gravediggers?
Well, come on.
You know what you've got to say.
Yeah.
I've never had better than this pub. So
there you go. Brilliant.
What's the price for a pint as well?
It's $6.90.
Same as Same. Is it your round?
So it's free.
He never gets his wallet out. I bankroll these videos, don't I? I think this is one of the best pints of Guinness.
What did you say out of 10? What did you say out of 10?
I'm expecting a 9.
That's gone up. It was 8.5 outside,
Yeah.
but now we've looked at it, it's gone up to 9. Okay.
Get it down your chops,
right
mate.
on the pint line. All right.
Yeah.
9 out of 10. Even they're laughing at you. Right. No, I say it's an 8.5.
8.5. Let me have a go.
Yeah. It slides down though, as you say. It does slide down. To be honest, actually, when you have a bigger goal.
You know what? That's annoying to me. Great lacing, sticking to the glass. Every single pub that I go in Ireland, the bartenders, they're really on point, they're really professional, they're really hospitable, and you won't get better service in the world. Best pubs in the world, mate. You only been in 2. What do you think of Bowes, mate?
Banging, mate.
Great pub, great Guinness, absolutely wonderful, friendly service. They couldn't help us enough in terms of like putting a list together for Danny's video.
Yeah, we've got about, they give us like 6 pubs. Probably won't be able to do them all because I've got to fly back. But you can do them after I leave, you can do them all if you want to, mate.
It's a great pub. Anybody that visits Dublin, you should go to Bowes for a pint. One of the best pints of Guinness you'll ever have. Some of the best service and most welcoming staff you'll ever meet. And it's right here in the centre on Fleet Street. Right, no trip around the famous pubs of Dublin would be complete without a trip to the famous Gravediggers, which is quite a far way northeast of the city centre. The weather's definitely shit at in, so we're gonna have to snuggle up by the fire, mate. Gravediggers pretty much has accepted by so many people. You can see the queue out. Look at the queue outside. Look at that. That's the Gravediggers. It is, mate. I've seen videos. It's accepted as the best pint of Guinness in the world. I've wanted to come here for a long time. I've never made it. Danny doesn't understand how profound this experience is going to be. He's just wandering up like he's going for a pint. This pub's like this all the time, mate.
Where's the queue, innit?
I'm feeling a bit spiritual, a bit emotional. It's time to piss it down. Let's get in Gravediggers and have the best pint of Guinness that man has ever created. What a place!
Oh, this is a place, this, mate. This is a place. Come on, mate.
Finger beauty. How many kegs a week? 500. 500 kegs a week. It's fucking mental in there, mate. Let it settle. That's the nature's fucking shelf.
Nice backdrop of probably dead people who've supped too many of these.
How do you feel about just about to consume the greatest pint of Guinness that mankind's created?
For some reason, I think you probably put it in my head when I went in there. I have got this vision of that. It's probably going to be a 10 out of 10.
It's just what I've been told.
But
I'm expecting great things.
I feel like I could be really let down. I don't know. I feel like I'm just always thinking of the worst. But it's looking well. It's looking well.
It is looking well.
It is looking well.
Oh, that's it's got a velvety, sticks to the palate, that does. And how do you rate it? Because people say it's the best pint of Guinness, not just in Ireland but in the world. How do you rate it? Will you tell me for my viewers what you think about the Gravediggers Guinness?
It's the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's the atmosphere. It's the
It's
tradition.
unique. Yeah.
It's a good pint.
Yeah.
I'd recommend Mulligan's.
Mulligan's
downtown.
in the town, yeah.
Yeah, John Mulligan's, Poolbeg Street.
Oh, you must come Ireland, then,
Yeah, that's where I go to drink.
Yeah.
They do the proper pour there. It's good.
Okay. I will say, I've been saying this to Danny, it's his first time in Dublin, I've been here a lot of times, and once you've drank Guinness in Ireland, you can't drink it, or
Anywhere
you
in
can't
the world.
enjoy it anywhere else, for sure, yeah, you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they have to clean the lines at least once a week. It's a bit more involved, my understanding is, than cleaning it for regular beer.
Yeah.
So it's you go in the States and it's.
Well, you know your Guinness quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do
Yeah.
know your Guinness quite well.
Okay folks, so we're now in an area of Dublin called Coolock. I think I've pronounced that right. I'll put it on the screen below. And this has been a hotbed of anti-migration protests over the last week or so. From what I understand, the Irish government have decided that they want to house some of the illegal migrants, asylum seekers for want of better terms, in a building here in this part of Dublin. And consequently, a lot of people who don't agree with that, they're here, and there's been a lot of flare-ups every night. So let's get as close as we can. Could be a bit dodge. Let's have a look. For those of you that probably thought I was overstating how divisive this issue is in Dublin at the moment, this is the hotbed of the flare-ups of some rioting that's been happening. You can see here in this probably normally quite sleepy, down-to-earth suburb of Dublin, that at the moment there are nightly riots here with disagreements between the Garda and the locals and people that don't want the migrant accommodation facility here in this area. So if anybody thought that I was overstating the division here in Ireland, this is the evidence of it. A front line of squad here and broken glass everywhere. Yeah, this could be a trap.
Like it's going on once.
Yeah.
But,
just simmering, ready to go.
Yeah, it's going to kick off already.
Jeez. It's such a disturbing sight to see in a peaceful, free nation in 2024.
Yeah.
And how quickly it can escalate to that.
Did you find that disturbing?
Yeah.
So if I could just say to you, this is nothing compared to the other day.
From the stories you told me the other night.
But it still has the same hopeless feeling. It's like there's women sat in the wall going, I'm not moving because why should I move? I live here. Why should I move?
Yeah.
The newspapers are all saying that our politicians are commending the Garda and saying what a brilliant job they're doing, how defensive they were, but this isn't defensive, this is offensive. What I experienced the other day was offensive. They were charging, we were peacefully walking down the street and they were on the attack. Yeah, surely they went that way.
Folks, imagine living here. This is a normal housing estate in the northern suburbs of Dublin. Probably 20 minutes bus ride from the city centre. Imagine you're here with your family, your kids, Friday evening, they've just got back from school, probably near to the school holidays, and there's every evening for the past 4 or 5 evenings, like the locals have told me, there's helicopters above, riot police everywhere, projectiles, bricks, thrown bottles, burnt out buildings and cars in 2024 in Dublin, Ireland. We've escaped past the perimeter of the Gardas and the riot police, and I'm on my way back into Dublin city centre. The relative calm, you know, I thought there was some unrest in the centre today, but then I've come up here and it's different gravy. Colin, I want to thank you so much for showing me around, mate.
No problem at all. But
I've seen an insight into a shocking, divisive side of Dublin, which I wasn't quite privy to last time. And I'm glad I kind of understand the picture of what's going on here a little bit more. Folks, please check out Colin's channel. It's called Bog Trotter Ireland. I'll put a link in the description below.
Appreciate it.
Don't let these troubling scenes and some of the stories you've heard put you off coming to Dublin. It is a fantastic city, one of the most welcoming and hospitable cities in the world for visitors, with the best part of Guinness you'll ever have and some wonderful people.
That's for sure.
Until next time, folks.